Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling something pretty ambitious from the Russian artist Boris Kustodiev. We're looking at this one painting. It doesn't really have a formal title, though some people call it the Blue House. And what it tries to do is, well, capture the entire cycle of human life. Birth, death, everything in between, all on one canvas.
It's a huge undertaking, really,
Yeah.
because Kustodiev wasn't just, painting a pretty picture. He was genuinely trying to define existence itself. His whole mission, as he put it, was to describe what life is. But, and this is key, using the language of the simple people.
Right. So no epics, no gods, just everyday stuff.
Exactly. The mundane, the familiar.
Okay, so that really sets the stage for our deep dive today. We've got sources that map out this incredibly packed painting. Our job, I think, is to figure out how he did it. How did he use, like, a windowsill or a balcony or a workshop to tell this massive story of human life?
Precisely. It's less like a landscape painting and more like a stage set. He's constructed this whole scene. It's very deliberately built, a kind of visual architecture designed to hold this universal story.
So the stage itself, the setting, how did he make this house, this town, feel like it could be any provincial Russian town, not just one specific place?
Well, he really acted like a director here. He wasn't painting a real location. He pulled elements from his memory, from his imagination. The aim was to create an archetype, the quintessential Russian provincial town. And that central house, that's the anchor for everything.
And visually, how does he signal provincial Russia to someone looking at it? What are the clues?
Well, the colors are a big part of it, those really vibrant blues and greens he loved. They contrast with, say, the dustiness of the town square. And the architecture, too, the steep roofs, the wooden balconies, these little enclosed yards. It all screams not the capital city.
Okay.
It signals a place where life is maybe slower, more public, more communal.
So the house is the constant, the stage, and the people, the characters, they just flow through it. If we're following time, where does he start the story? Where's life begin?
He starts right up close in the immediate foreground, closest to us, the viewers. That's where you see birth. There are women there holding an infant. It's the very beginning, that quiet moment of arrival, total dependence.
And then pretty quickly, there's a shift in energy, right? From that quiet start to...
Yes, exactly. You just shift your gaze back a little bit further into the scene. And suddenly, you're in childhood. You see kids playing, running around on the meadow near the house, full of energy, exploring, starting to move away from that initial shelter.
It's quite a seamless move from the cradle to the playground, isn't it?
It is. You see that jump from dependence to independence almost immediately.
Okay, so they're off the meadow, maybe getting a bit older, more self-aware. Where does he place that next phase? Youth, adolescence, that kind of awkward internal time.
For that, he pulls us back towards the house structure itself, to a windowsill specifically. There you've got a young man and a girl sitting, talking. It's not the running around energy of childhood. It's quieter, more intense. It's about connection, conversation, figuring things out together. Life starts becoming about relationships, not just action.
That makes sense. The windowsill, it's kind of in between, isn't it? Not quite inside, not quite out in the open.
Exactly. A transitional space.
And then those relationships maybe solidify. We get to maturity, family life. And this is where he brings in that really specific, very Russian detail.
Yes, the mature couple. You often see them on a balcony, maybe suggesting they've achieved a certain level of stability in life.
Yeah.
And crucially, they're involved in tea drinking.
Right. And the sources really emphasize this. It's not just background detail. Why was tea so important for Kustodiev here?
Because, well, for him and for the culture at that time, tea drinking was stability. It represented routine, shared moments, domestic partnership. It fits perfectly with his goal of using the language of the simple people. The peak of life isn't, some grand achievement. It's the consistent, shared ritual around the samovar. That's stability.
It really grounds it, doesn't it? It says, this is what maturity looks like. Quiet, shared time.
Absolutely. It's not about status in the usual sense. It's about earning that peaceful moment, that balcony, that tea time, community and simplicity.
Okay, so we've had the calm stability of the tea on the balcony, but then the energy ramps up again, doesn't it? We move to this point of real passion, and he literally puts it up high.
That's right. You look right up to the roofline of the house now, and there's this figure, usually a teenager or young adult, intensely focused on hunting pigeons. He's depicted with this real fierce enthusiasm, total absorption in one activity, which is so typical of that age, right?
And this specific detail, pigeon hunting up there on the roof, it's personal for Kustodiev himself, isn't it? It adds another layer.
It absolutely is. We know from sources that Kustodiev himself was fascinated by pigeon hunting as a kid. It was one of his passions. So by putting that memory, that burst of focused energy, at the very top of his archetypal house, he's weaving his own youth into this universal cycle. It's the peak outward energy.
So maximum energy reached, the peak. Now the cycle naturally starts to slow down. We come down from that passionate rooftop chase.
Yeah, the shift is quite clear visually. You move down from the roof and sort of inward. This is stage 6. Old age, retreat. The sources often describe an older figure, sometimes a woman in darker clothes, seen inside, maybe just visible through a window.
Darker clothes, inside. What's the symbolism there?
It suggests a withdrawal, really, moving away from those exposed high-energy places like the roof or even the communal balcony. It's a natural turning inward, less active participation, perhaps, preparing for the final step.
And that brings us to the end of the cycle, the conclusion. In this final scene, how he depicts death, it's maybe the most striking part of the whole painting, philosophically too.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it ties back to this whole idea of simplicity. He doesn't handle death with, melodrama or intense fear. It's a very matter of fact. Your eye gets drawn down quite low in the picture, and there it is. A coffin.
Yeah.
Starkly presented.
And then the genius move, I think, is what he puts right next to it or below it.
Exactly. Right there, adjacent to the symbol of death, he shows you the coffin maker's workshop.
Wow. So not a graveyard scene, not mourners, but the place where the artifacts of death are made.
Precisely. He shows the industry of death side by side with the ongoing business of life. It's quite a juxtaposition.
And the people inside that workshop, that's the key, isn't it? You'd expect maybe somber craftsmen or something heavy.
But no, not at all. Inside, you see older people just sitting around,
Yeah.
completely calm. And what are they doing? Everyday things. Reading the paper, playing chess, just talking. The absolute serenity, the lack of any panic or despair right there next to the tools of mortality. It's the painting's ultimate statement, I think.
It wraps the whole thing up so neatly, doesn't it? Life just happens. Birth, growth, tea, pigeons, retreat, and then death. It's presented as this straightforward, almost easy progression. No big crisis.
Yeah, by putting the coffin workshop right next to people just playing a game, Kustodiev seems to be saying death is just another part of the rhythm. It's accepted, integrated, not this terrifying outlier, ultimate simplicity.
He really pulled it off then, using these very ordinary scenes, all centered on this one house to tell the entire story of human life. It's an incredible piece of synthesis.
Absolutely. And that final lesson, it's right there in that workshop scene, that calm acceptance.
So we've seen all the stages, the energy, the passion, the quiet moments, but that final image, why do you think Kustodiev chose that way to depict the end? Not with grief, but with this quiet, everyday, calm reading, playing chess, chatting.
Well, it suggests, doesn't it, that maybe that's the ultimate serenity. That a life lived simply within that community rhythm prepares you for the end in a way that removes the terror, that tranquility, right in the face of the inevitable. That's maybe the powerful thought Kustodiev leaves for you, the viewer, to explore. How much depth he found in those simple lives.
Something definitely to think about. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive.